Yeah, thank you, Unity Band. Maybe a little brighter on this one, too. Welcome. I'm glad.
Welcome, welcome. I'm glad you're here with me. Did you know you're one with God for eternity? Welcome, welcome. I'm glad you're here with me. You're not a stranger anymore. Now you're family.
Yeah. Basically what we're saying, I would miss it one more time there, but that's okay. We're welcoming here. I'm sorry, I'm Reverend Sharon Ketchum, but as I look out here in front of me is Eeyore, a nun and a witch. Not to mention the array of wonderful characters all around here. So welcome to Unity Spiritual Center, whether you're in person with us or online. And if you're at home, I hope maybe some of you dressed up in a costume too. Just let that inner part of you out. And if you're with us for the first time, I hope you received a bag of popcorn on your way in, just thanking you for popping in. We are a community. We really operate as a community, and there's connection cards if you'd like to get on our email list or if you have any questions about anything. And coffee bar is open during service as well as a snack bar, so make yourself at home. This is a self-serve community. We do have a wonderful prayer box over there and an incredibly wonderful prayer team. So if there's anything on your hearts this morning, a celebration, or maybe there's a concern, we really invite you to fill out a prayer form, first names, and it's just major categories, so that our team can hold the high watch for you and just know that you're not alone, that you are supported through whatever you're going through in your life. We'll pray with you for 30 days and forward it on to Silent Unity for additional 30 days. Okay, let's affirm our mission statement together. We spiritually awaken to our oneness with God, with each other, and with all creation. And this comes out of our vision. We see a world that can be powerfully transformed through a growing movement of shared spiritual awakening, understanding that the idea is that it's shared, not that there's a right and a wrong, but that we honor ourselves and each other, whatever path we're on and wherever we are on that path. So let us affirm together. The enlightenment of the Buddha shines within us. The compassion of the Christ moves through us. The power of Jehovah strengthens and guards us. The presence of Allah surrounds and guides us. Wherever we are, the Tao is, and all is God. And with that, we have a new song this morning, an old song actually, many years old, In the Silence.
Out of the Wings of Song.
Yeah. Take it away, Greg.
In the silence, there is a sacred space, a secret meeting place. Love is there. In the silence, a secret meeting place. Love is there.
I think you skipped one. It's there.
In the silence,
We're blessed.
and every rainbow end.
I think I may have skipped something. Sorry.
I don't know where
well.
you are, Jeff. Sure.
Maybe I missed something.
Let's start at the beginning. In the silence, there is a sacred space, a secret meeting's place. Love is there. In the silence, a secret meeting place. Love is there.
I made a mistake.
Where every color blends and every rainbow ends, God is there. In the light you will find that you know peace of mind. In the silence your path is paved in gold, and all your dreams unfold. Love is there. Peace is there. Truth is there. God is there.
We'll get that fixed. In case you didn't know, this is not a mistake-free church. We try to be a blame-free church, but I do take responsibility for goofing that up yesterday. Must have been too much Halloween candy, a little sugar high. So affirming that in this sacred space, in that silence within where we hear that still small voice, it's just such a perfect time to pray for our neighbors, all those with whom we share this beautiful blue planet. And it's a special time of year where this is, the 31st is Diwali, which is Festival of the Lights, October 31st. And that's celebrated by the Hindus, the Sikhs, the Jains, and the Buddhists. And it's very much like our Christmas time as far as some of the traditions that they do during this time. And then also, of course, on the 31st is Halloween, or Samhain, in the pagan tradition. And for unity, this is a unity holiday. It's where you forgo the trick of separateness and take the treat of oneness, that we begin to understand that difference. So it appears that we're separate, but in truth, we are one. And so with all the things that's going on in our world, the unrest, the conflict, the pain, the suffering, and the celebrations and the great achievements, all of that human experience, we just take a moment to close our eyes and to open our heart and to connect. Connect in that silence, connect in that truth, connect in that goodness to each and every living creature, really glimpsing into the idea of oneness, that we are there with each and every one in that very real sense of love, and that we see within each and every one that strength, that wisdom, the courage. And in this connection, on that very soul level, we allow them to know that they are not alone, that we hold them in our hearts in the best, the kindest way possible. So for the beauty of this connection, for the beauty of expression, for the beauty of creativity, for the beauty of the light, We say thank you, thank you, thank you. And so it is. Oh, okay. Little question for you at the table. What makes you say yes to a risky invitation? What makes you say yes? And I mean, there's probably a lot of times you said no, but I know you've all said yes at least once to doing something a little risky. That's risky, not risque, but risque could be risky
both,
too, right?
right? Gosh, I guess how much fun would be involved?
Ooh, the reward at the other end.
That's right. Is it worth it? No.
Yes, that's that cost and rewards. You know, for me, it's when I say yes, and if it's really something that scares me, it just goes beyond. It skips the mind and goes out of my mouth. There's some impulse.
Okay.
And it's probably the same thing that's going to be fun. Boy, won't this make a great story to tell my grandchildren?
There might be a little bit of peer pressure around. Come on.
Oh, that's true too.
You know,
Yeah.
maybe that nudges you in that direction. I don't know.
Well, but never underestimate the power of the group.
That's right.
You
That's
know,
right.
it
And
makes you-
everybody else is doing it.
Yeah, it makes you stronger and braver and stupider sometimes
Yeah.
than we normally want to be.
I don't get too many risky invitations now.
Isn't that's too bad.
I know, right?
Or maybe we're just getting braver and they don't feel risky anymore.
Maybe that's it. Maybe I'm just not seeing them that way.
I like that idea. Yeah.
Shall
okay.
we start up with
Yeah.
my soulless welcome here?
Sounds about
All
time.
right.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just what I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just what I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just what I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just what I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. 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 Oh, my soul is welcome here. 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 Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here.
Good morning. I'm Maggie Bishop, co-facilitator of the Unity Social Team. Our daily word is creative, inspired by Genesis. Then God said, "Let us make humankind in our image, according to our likeness, and let them have dominion." Stunning visual arts, inspirational music, a brilliant performance. These are all lovely examples of creativity, but they are by no means the only ones. Creative is the very nature of life, from the most soaring, soul-inspiring instance to the mundane moments that fill daily life. Creative acts abound. Creative activities are prayers in action, a continuation of divine activity in its infinite manifestations. Living is a creative act. This is the way we are in the world, the way we love, the way we relate to others. Understanding it in this way, we see how we are using our thoughts, feelings, and imagination to create our experiences. We bring our divine gifts to life through our creativity. Let us affirm together, the creative energy of spirit expresses through me. On behalf of the social team, I want to thank everybody, all the creative people who participated in Trunk or Treat. We didn't have a huge showing up, but we had fun. We stayed warm. The last Wednesday of the month, this Wednesday, is our Super Suppers. It's a no-host dinner. If you're coming, it's good if you give me a call. The phone number is available on the website or there, so that we can plan at least a close number to what we're going to have. We're about creating connections within our community. So if you have an idea for a social event, see me or Lisa Haston, and let's see what we can create together. And we're always open to other people joining the team. And now I get to bring up Linda Abars for some very special music.
Lit up, all right. This song is called Dante's Prayer. It's by Lorena McKenna. The lyrics, you know, you're going to interpret them the way you're going to interpret them. They're so, I wish I'd written it, is all I'm going to say. I hope you enjoy. When the dogwood fell before me, and all the paths were overgrown, when the priests of pride say there is no other way, I tilled the sorrows of stone. I did not believe because I could not see, though you came to me in the night. When the dawn seemed forever lost, you showed me your love in the light of the stars. Cast your eyes on the ocean, cast your soul to the sea, where my dark nights seem endless. Please remember me. Then the mountain rose before me by the deep well of desire. From the fountain of forgiveness, beyond the ice and the fire. Cast your eyes on the ocean, cast your soul to the sea, where my dark nights seem endless. Please remember me. share this humble path alone. How fragile is the heart. Give these clay feet wings to fly, to touch the light of the stars. Breathe life into this feeble heart. Lift this mortal veil of fear. Take these crumbled hopes, etched with tears, and we'll rise above these earthly cares. Cast your eyes on the ocean. Cast your soul to the sea, where my dark nights seem endless. Please remember me. Please remember me.
Oh, Linda, thank you. It's a beautiful song at this time of year, with all these different holidays. This morning we did Rosario. Thank you so much for explaining to us some more stuff about Day of the Dead and our SALT. We have a class that meets at 9:30 Sundays, and it's always insightful, and it is a time that we remember those that are not with us at this point. Oh, a little Halloween humor. Did you know that witches are very bad at math, but they're great at spells? Good at spelling. Okay. So you can take that with you today. So risky invitations came to mind for today's talk. And even as Greg and I were talking up there during that little discussion time, he was saying how he doesn't get as many risky invitations anymore. And I don't know if it's because we're braver and wiser, or people think, we're dull. We just won't even consider it. But think about just this morning. It might have been risky just to get out of bed, right? I mean, there are days like that. Everything is fine as long as you're under the covers. If you decided to wear a costume today, that's a risk. Are you going to be the only one? Do you ever wondered, is this a joke? Everybody else is going to dress normal, and you're going to be the only one showing up with a costume on. Driving here could be a risk. Even when it's not winter out there, you don't know what's going to happen. How about sitting at a table with someone and you can't remember their name? We all do it, and we're all embarrassed about it, and why we humans don't get over that and just say, I'm really bad with names, one more time, or maybe we just all agree on one name, like kind of a unisex name, and we all answer to it. Wouldn't that be easier? Then we wouldn't, yeah. And someone you don't know well, sometimes, my goodness, it's awkward sometimes making new friends, new acquaintances. So a lot of risky invitations that are out there. Somebody you haven't ever met before. Are they going to like me? Are they going to be critical of me? I mean, all those things go through our heads, our insecurities, our unworthiness, if you will. But there's some bigger risky invitations. When I was living up in Canada, there was a CN Tower, downtown tower, huge tower, and you could pay a whole lot of money to do an edge walk. So there's a little arrow there to show you where it is, way up on top, and you lean out over the edge with just that cord. My hands sweat just talking about it. I did never accepted that invitation. I can't even, they have a glass floor there that you can look down. I can't even walk on the glass floor. I'm not too good at that. And have any of you ever done a Tough Mudder? This is beyond a marathon. It's a half marathon. You go through water, mud, ice water, electrical barriers, and barbed wire. I have a nephew that, muscle building, he likes to do that. And then a little closer to home, that's my wife and I out in Saskatoon a couple years ago, and my daughter is into skydiving, and her boyfriend's into skydiving. So they asked if any of us wanted to go up. And Max's hand is right up there. I said, I'd be happy to take the photos. They're coming down. And then, was it last year, we went down to New Zealand to visit my daughter down there, and that's where bungee jumping started. And it's off a bridge. Well, Max had just had back surgery, so she calls her doctor from New Zealand to ask permission if she can bungee jump. Guess what the answer was? Yeah. Anyway, that. And a few years ago, do you remember the Alzheimer Ice Bucket Challenge? I mean, that was an invite, and I took it. That's me after service up in Canada, and that's me after the ice bucket went on me. So that's more my kind of risk. I'll risk being cold and uncomfortable, not dropping from the sky. Anyway, one of the biggest risks that sticks out in my mind that I took, I went to a retreat at Edwin Gaines Retreat Center down in Alabama. And Edwin is a great Unity Prosperity teacher. And this was just for ministers. And it was a week of taking a lot of risk, of being really vulnerable, of going past your comfortable edge. And one of them was on prosperity. We sat in a kids' pool, and the other ministers poured thousands of dollar bills over you. Brought tears to my eyes as it kind of broke through that thing. It's just an amazing feeling that to have money, prosperity, that flow just coming down on you as you sit in this little kid's tub. It was just, we never know where our barriers are, where the risk is for prosperity, whether it be prosperity of health, prosperity of finances, prosperity of relationship. We all have those safety barriers that takes a lot to move beyond. We all have those things where we place limits, our safety factor, our safety boundaries. But as we spent these days together and you build up trust and you get deeper into your own spirituality because there's none of those outside influences, the last night we did a fire walk. And I have this on my wall that I walked on fire on April 25th, 2014. And whenever we face one of these barriers that feels like a risk, and we go beyond that fear, we go beyond our capabilities, it doesn't just mean that I can go ahead and walk on fire. It meant I could face a lot of things that I felt were risky, that I was just too afraid to get by. I found a way to touch into a deeper strength than I really remembered that I had down there, that I've been in touch with. So we all do those things that take us to the edge, and it's funny, once you knock one wall over, the other walls start going down too. If you've ever played with blocks, that's exactly what happens. You do one, it kind of weakens the whole thing, like a domino effect. So what's your risky invite? What would it be for you? For some people, it's public speaking. For some people, it's giving up so-so, same old, over and over again. Or you don't want to give up the same old because you got FOMO, fear of missing out. So somewhere in between there, we have these fears or these risks within ourselves. Doing something new. My daughter, who now jumps out of planes, for the first 20 years of her life, would not take a lesson in anything until she knew how to do it. She was going to take guitar lessons, so she got a book and a guitar, practiced in secret before she would go to her lesson to learn how to do it. Anybody else do that? No, she's the baby child. Yeah, but yeah. So some of us know we don't want to fail, so we guarantee that we're going to be an expert so we can start taking the lessons. I mean, we're so silly about things. How about doing something you're not good at? That's a big risk. You know that you've always messed this up or messed that up or whatever, and to actually go ahead and do it when your history is telling you that, oh, damn, maybe not, who knows? Well, there was a really risky invitation, a really interesting story in the Gospel of Luke, where Jesus talks to his followers and he sends out the 72 to go out in the countryside. And here's what he said to them. He said, "The harvest is plentiful, but the workers are few. Don't take any money with you, or a beggar's bag, or an extra pair of shoes." Can you picture this? Don't waste time along the way. When you enter a house, first say, "Peace to this house." And if someone who promotes peace is there, your peace will rest on them. And if not, it will return to you. Do not move around in this town from house to house. If peace is not promoted there, shake the dust from your feet. Leave it all behind. Just go on. Mission impossible, right? Can you imagine going out into the world with nothing? No extra clothing, no backup plan. Heck, they didn't even have cell phones back then. You know, you're out there on your own, just wandering around. And the metaphysics of this verse is just so rich for things in our own life that we might be facing. You know, it's not a mission impossible. It's the whole idea of getting to the point that I'm possible. We are possible. The very fact that we were here. I remember the day my son learned about reproduction in science class. He came home and he'd go, wow, over 1 million sperm. Think of the odds that it's me. He got that he was a miracle, that of all those sperms, he got it. He won. He was the winner of that whole thing. So metaphysically, if you look at this scripture, the harvest, all those things that are growing, those are our ideas, our imagination, our knowledge, our own growth. And the idea of workers, let's face it, we all have some really great ideas that we haven't worked on. So the idea that workers are few, maybe we say we only have so much time, whatever that might be. We have a wealth of riches, and we don't always put it into work. So the workers are few, putting these into plans into action. The idea about not taking an extra pair of shoes or a beggar's bowl or anything with us is a reminder that those are like the outside guarantees, right? These are the things that you're going to fall back on because you're really not sure about moving forward. We know the outer world is not where it's at, where it really happens. The first work has to be within inside us. And if we plan on having little safety packets in the outer world, what happens? We don't listen to this anymore. We don't get our highest and best guidance. We don't give we don't give a chance to flounder, which really means we don't give ourselves a chance for spirit to take an active role in our, I'm going to do it myself, right? I got this. I'm in charge. And then the idea of action, of moving to walk out into the world, moving our ideas into doing. Unity's fifth principle is that, our thoughts are creative, our prayers are effective, and we are the hands and feet of Spirit on earth. If we don't do it, it doesn't get done. There's not some poof magical thing that's going to appear and make the change. If we want peace, we need to be the peace. If we want a house built, we need to take actions to have that house built, whatever that might mean to us. And the idea that you go into this place, the house would be a place of consciousness metaphysically. As we step in there and we say, I'm at peace. Peace is there. God, good is there. Love is there. And if it's there, if it is a peaceful state of consciousness, it'll come right back to us. We'll get it. However, there are some places where we go that are not so peaceful in our minds. Those stories that we have written, the scary stories. God knows we love a scary story, but not in your consciousness as a place to live. It's not a place to grow. It kind of constrains us. So if it's not peaceful, if this is something that is really not harmonious, then this is a great time to just, let it go. And you don't wander he says, don't wander around from house to house. How many times have you thought this was the answer, and you try to make it work and it doesn't work, so you keep trying to make this thing that won't work? That's like going from house to house in this village, this state of consciousness where it's not peaceful. So if it's not peaceful, let it go. It's okay. It's okay. I'm a perfect example this morning. I did something wrong. I got the PowerPoints mixed up, and I'm still living. Lightning did not strike from above and knock me down. It's okay to make a mistake, and I know what I need to do before next week, right? So this metaphysics of Luke chapter 10, it's interesting. Different versions have different amounts of people going out, and because we really look at the great teachings that are hidden in the metaphysics of different stories, not just in the Bible, everywhere in life. So sometimes it says 70 were sent out. Sometimes it talks about 72. Sometimes it talks about 70 plus the 12 disciples. And so each of them I look at as different states of consciousness as they're moving forward. So taking the numbers, what numbers mean individually, the idea of 7 is fullness on the physical level. It's that spiritual, it's that completion, called the world of phenomena, this relative world that we live in. When it seems like it's done, it's full, it's right, it's complete, it's a graduation. It's that aha moment, okay, I have arrived, or this is done. Sometimes called the divine law of perfection in mankind, meaning as far as we can take it in our human self. Do you know what I mean? Like we can express love and compassion humanly, person to person, before we get to that next level where it just is a way of being. So that kind of 7, there's this fullness. It's a really great space to be in, a 7 consciousness. Whenever there's a 0 after number in the Bible, it's just an emphasis. Doesn't mean 7 literally, but let's really get this idea of fullness and completion. And the number 2 in 72, 2 is duality. We live in a relative world. That's a relative number. Relative means here and there, yes and no, good and bad, hot and cold. It has that split, that chasm, which we're seeing so much all over the world in ideologies, that there's this or this, as opposed to this and this, in our idea of oneness. Then 12, going up with the 12, 12 is you take 7 to that higher level of spiritual fulfillment. Think every time you buy a carton of eggs, your soul is singing, spiritual fulfillment. You know, we got them all. We got all of our eggs in this one basket, and it's very good. It's very good. And if you think about the 12, the disciples, each of those represent parts of ourself, those inner gifts that we have. Luann does assault on these on the first Sunday of every month, taking one of those. So we have these great parts of ourself. And for me, I always think of them as aspects of the divine on yellow sticky notes within us, like faith or love or wisdom or understanding. And then Fillmore talks about that these, very similar to some of the Eastern religions, have places in our bodies, like chakras, so that we have, when we're working on these aspects of ourselves, because as humans we don't quite get the fullness, it's too much for us to really grasp all at one time, but to work on the idea of wisdom, or to work on the idea of love, or the power of our spoken word, we can focus on each of those. But if you put it all together, that's what we call the Christed consciousness, this awareness and this balance of using all these powers that we have within us. So the risky imitation, kind of like this new idea, if we look at this chapter, this story in the Gospel of Luke, that 72, these different levels of consciousness, is limited to physical laws, right? So we got fullness, but we got relativity. So we're looking at, yeah, this is really good, but there's the other side that's not so good. It's like, kind of like, okay, this risky imitation, that would be nice, but, think of the risk involved. Think what could happen. Think of the bad things that could happen. Think of the pain I could have. I could fall on my face and be humiliated. So in the story, when you're hearing 72 go out, that might be that state of mind within us when we get that risky invitation. 70, where it's just that fullness, but emphasized with that 0, that's where we're kind of feeling like, okay, if I'm lucky, I could do this. Not quite confident all in ourselves, but there's something about me, I'm willing to take the risk. Maybe with a little help from my friends, or if the stars are in the right alignment, or whatever that might be, I'll be okay. But we have that risky invitation, and we are in that state of 70 plus 12. This is where we get beyond our expectations. We get the fullness on the relative level, on the human level. We also get the fullness on the spiritual level. It's one of those wonderful aha moments, one of those moments really of empowerment. And you might be thinking, well, I don't know how or why, but I know I can do it. I don't know how it's going to work, but I know it's going to do it. You just, and you don't have to know. The intellect does not have to know. Sometimes the intellect is like an albatross around our neck that keeps telling us, are you crazy? This ain't going to happen. So what makes us say yes to a risky invitation? You were talking about it before in here, at your tables. And sometimes, I said to Greg, I get it that the yes comes out of my mouth and has not been filtered through my brain. And I look back and go, what were you thinking? Going through there. So if you think about metaphysically that mindset of 72, kind of, I call it the pity train thinking, because you're really not thinking you can do things too well, but you're told to do it. Like somebody of authority told you to do it. Like in the story of Jesus sent out these 70-some people, you know there were some that are kind of dragging their feet. Where am I going to eat tonight? Where am I going to sleep? You know, but he told me to go out and do this, so I'm doing it. We do that stuff too. You know, we go ahead and do something we don't want to do. We drag our feet on it. Yeah, because somebody else told us we had to. And for some reason, we wanted to give them our power that day. In that moment, just, okay, you said so, so therefore I have to. Think about that on a smaller level, like relationships. You took out the garbage because I'll let you fill in that blank. Then when you get to the 70, when you're looking beyond the relative world of the either or and understanding the oneness, it's like training wheels. Like, okay, there's something within me that's leading me on this path. I'm going to learn something from it. It's going to be a little life classroom that I'm going through. There's that invisible little boost, a little bit of helium in your balloon that lifts you up, and you step into it, not fully confident, but you're walking into it. Until finally we have those times that we say yes, because it skipped our brain, just went right into that. No risk, it's love train thinking. Like we had the pity train thinking, now this is the love train thinking, where it's all love, you're stepping into the oneness, it's Yoda personified, there is no try, you do it. Of course, yes, yes, yes. You don't have the logic to it, you just know there's a soul force that's carrying you forward. From the tiniest little thing, perhaps saying hello to that stranger and changing their life, to something massive, moving, just doing something that is so different in your life. Sometimes your number's up, whether it's a 7, 70, 72, or 70 plus 12. And I want to tell you this story. It happened back in 2013. I hadn't realized that mass shootings have been going on for so long, have been so common. But in 2013, in the Navy shipyard in Decatur, Georgia, this man, Aaron Alexis, went into the naval yard and shot, I believe it was 13 people. He was in that mode. And it was a month or two later, Michael Hill, outside of Atlanta at a school, went there with 500 rounds of ammunition, a lot of weapons. As he went to the schoolyard, he happened to run into this woman, Antoinette Tuff, and she said yes to a really risky invitation. And when she ran into Michael, here's the transcript of what they heard her say to him. I can help you. No, doesn't matter. Well, don't feel bad. We're not going to hate you. Hey, he wants me to tell everybody he's sorry. I'm still on the phone with him. It's going to be all right, sweetie. I just want you to know that I love you and I'm proud of you. We all go through something in life. This one compassionate conversation with a stranger helped Michael turn around and not do what he had intended to do. Kindness and compassion actually redirected the anger and destruction that was waiting to happen. And I wonder if I had run into Michael that day, seeing all of his hardware and feeling the anger, would there have been a part of me that could feel the person behind all that? You know, we do legislation, we do all this stuff, and yet this one woman taking that moment to care, to say yes to that risky invitation, just turned the whole thing around. So know that for us, our invitation awaits. Sometimes it's a 72 where we feel no choice, we just got to do it, hoping for the best at the end, but there's not a passion to it yet. You haven't really put your energy into it yet. You're dragging your feet behind you. And then we get that 70 invite where we know inner help is needed, and we just trust that somehow it's going to go forward for us. And then we get, that risky invitation that we are all lit up with, that we are the full 70, that fulfillment, but also that spiritual nature, knowing we have that help, and that's where we get to make those miracle things happen that just seem impossible. When we get those invitations, it's really important to really just go into that peace, go into that knowing like Antoinette did, and to shake the dust off your feet. Do not let anything that's ever come before to drag on you those regrets from the past, the unfinished business. Just step into that great invitation. And we're going to do that right now by taking a little time in meditation. So I'm going to invite you to close your eyes if that's comfortable. And we're going to treat ourselves to just taking 3 breaths, conscious breaths. That simple act of breathing contains within it the ability, the tranquility to move us beyond any anxiety for the current conditions within our life or our world, or for those unanswered invitations, those personal invitations in our own life that are waiting our response. In this time of the fall transition, the celebrations of the light of Diwali, Samhain, Halloween, the lifting of the veil, we find within us a great permission to go on and put those things into action that are ours to do, just as we may adopt a persona for Halloween. Persona is not a fake. It's not made up. It's an aspect of you coming into expression. And just as that part of us that has perhaps lain dormant since birth, or has been kept in a safe, sacred place, we know that we have within us the capability of saying yes. Yes to that very thing which will be a blessing not only to our life, but as it becomes part of the oneness of our world. That yes that allows us to see more clearly beyond the concept of others into the living of oneness. That yes that comes from a stalwart heart that moves beyond any bruises, strengthened by its past pains, to move into that mode of creation, creating life that is compassionate and kind and connective. So for this truth, for our inner ability to do those greater things, to put our creative desires into action as love, as connecting, we find our hearts filled with gratitude and great respect as we raise that veil between other and us into the oneness.
I'm raising the veil between me and my God. God is right here in my heart. God is right here in my heart. God is right here in my heart. I'm raising the veil. I'm raising the veil between me and my God. No separation, no distance at all. God is right here in my heart. God is right here in my heart. God is right here in my heart. I'm raising the veil. I want to know you. Oh God, I'm raising the veil. I want to see you. Oh God, I'm raising the veil. I want to hear you. Oh God, I'm raising the veil. I want to feel you. Oh God, I'm raising the veil. I want to praise you. Oh God, I'm raising the veil. I want to love you. Oh God, I'm raising the veil. I'm raising the veil.
Oh, thank you, Greg. Well, okay. Take the risk of saying yes this week. It's interesting how things come up and you have these invitations, and some of you may have noticed a change outside when you came in this morning. Yes. Pretty parking lot with new lines and everything. And as Edmund said to me, I didn't know we were doing this. Jeff Benoit is the vice president of our board, and he's been helping us. And we were looking at the parking lot, and we got 3 quotes in to see for next year what it would take to fix things up. And when the first 2 came in, they both said, oh my goodness, you're right at the edge of this whole parking lot disintegrating, because there were 10,000 linear feet of cracks that had grass growing up in it. And then the last company that came in, McKerney, they gave us a quote that was much lower and could do it before winter. And so we thought this would save us, protect us, so we didn't have to go into a 6-figure repair. So that's why it was such a surprise. And if you want to know more about that, you stay around for a little quick town hall afterwards, and we're going to play Jeopardy, if you like to do that. There are prizes with that. Anyway, with that, I get my prize, getting to hear Linda sing again.
This is a Alanis Morissette song. Thank you. Because, you know, we can give thanks for the things that challenge us, right? Yeah. Otherwise, we're going to be miserable. Oh, whoa, wait. Do. Yeah. How about getting off of these antibiotics? How about stopping eating when I am full? How about them transparent dangling carrots? How about that ever elusive cue-dough? Thank you, India. Thank you, terror. Thank you, disillusionment. Thank you, frailty.
remembering our divinity. How about unabashedly bawling your eyes out? How about not equating death with ceasing? Thank you, India. Thank you, Providence. Thank you, disillusionment. Thank you, nothingness. Thank you, clarity. Thank you, silence. The moment I jumped off of it was the moment I touched down.
Thank you, Linda. That was wonderful. Good morning. If it is a good morning, which I doubt. Thanks for noticing. Now you can go about your way. On your table, there's a glass jar. It's a useful jar. You can put things in it, like a check, or some money, or whatever. Put something in it. There's a coin, if you want to put the coin on the table, from one useful container to another. That would be good too. So now is the time we create a circle of generosity by sharing the blessings we have received. We know that a gift we give is not a debt we owe. No, it's a seed we sow from a consciousness of abundance, if you have any, which I don't. So if you're here with me and bored to death, like I am, place your check or cash in the useful container in front of you. If you're online, hi online. You can use the QR code on the screen and transfer money that way if you wish. You don't have to. It's not that important. I'm not important either, so doesn't matter. But now is the time that we affirm together. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, and all that I give, and all that I receive. I praise, give thanks, and I'm glad if I have to be. Forming a circle of generosity, we thank everyone for their continued support, and however you may do it, electronically, by mail, or unluckily in person. Our circle includes acts of gratitude from these many gifts that we share with others, and I don't get any. That's okay. I just thank you for noticing me. So our fourth quarter tithes are divided among our remaining nominees who came in last place. I suppose they still matter. Helping Women, period, the Meta Peace Team, and the City Rescue Mission. All of them are focused on helping people with dignity, peace, and their physical needs, if they have them. So we acknowledge all of our blessings and say thank you, because why not, with singing, I'm So Grateful.
Gratitude before me, gratitude behind me, gratitude to the left of me, gratitude to the right of me, gratitude above me, gratitude below me, gratitude within me, gratitude all around me. I'm so grateful. 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 I'm so grateful.
So let's take a moment to deeply immerse ourselves in the water, because we're wet, and our gratitude by collectively blessing the gifts on our table. Given in love, received in love, we dedicate these gifts to do the will and the work of Holy Spirit. And so it is. Amen. Thank you for noticing. We are in the process of replacing the lights in our sanctuary. If you prefer to sit in the dark, that's fine. There's no problem with that. But 40 of our lights have been adopted so far. We have 32 more just waiting, feeling alone and neglected. And you can, if you want, adopt one for $10, but you probably won't, so don't bother. There are envelopes on your table if you feel so inclined to adopt one of these lights and make the sanctuary brighter, but really, I like it dark instead, so don't do that. If you're adopting a light online, you can do so through PayPal. Just kind of say what the donation's for, and they'll figure it out. Not me, but someone will. So today, after service, if you've got nothing to do and no one to see, you might as well stay here and be part of the town hall meeting that we're having. We're going to talk about busyness and stuff. Just kind of yapping our mouths and making noise. You probably don't want to stay here for that. And as Maggie mentioned earlier, this Wednesday is Super Supper. No one is going to come. It won't matter. Busy people. But it's at 6 p.m. at Plazino's. If you've got nothing else to do, you might as well come. Be miserable with the rest of us. It's the first Friday of the month, so it's also time for the lunch bunch. And they're meeting at the Delhi Cafe in Holt. Yep, same thing, this lunch. You should eat. You should contact the organizers so they can reserve a seat for you. If you show, it'd be nice. Thanks for noticing. We're falling back in time. People like to change clocks, confuse everyone. So next week, we are changing the clock. No real reason, just to do it. You should do it. Everyone else is, or not. The Unity Pulse is on your table. It has details on our activities here at Unity. You should pick it up and look at it. It has stuff to do, if you want. It also goes in recycling well, too. There's also a flyer with special envelopes on your table to remind us to buy light, to put extra shine in our sanctuary, unless you want it dark. And look at our website. Sharon puts a lot of work into that. So let's create a conscious community as we sing the peace song, followed by the prayer of protection.
And Eeyore, I'm going to suggest anybody in costume, it'd be great if they came up on the podium today.
Ah, yes.
Yeah, come on up so we can see. Anybody in costume, come on up, and so, yeah, we can share. And the folks at home can see you too, folks that are watching us online, because our cameras don't do a 360 in here. Butterflies to nuns.
Just don't blame me if it rains.
That's the witches, who are very good at spelling.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my solemn vow, to take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God is within us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.